guys, welcome to my kitchen and to my home. Today we're going to be making chocolate chip cookies. They are soft, they are tender, they are chewy, they are absolutely delicious and very easy to make. Let's go over the ingredients together. You need some butter, which is softened to room temperature, and that means that you have to be able to poke your finger in it like this. Some flour, white sugar, brown sugar, some eggs, some chocolate chips, salt, baking soda, and vanilla. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to mix your dry ingredients together and put them aside. My baking soda and my salt. Just mix them around and put them aside. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to cream your butter. I'm going to use a stand mixer with a paddle attachment, but if you don't have one, that's completely fine. You can start by using a hand mixer, and then when you incorporate the flour, you can just use a wooden spoon. So I'm going to cream my butter for 2 minutes on low speed. Then I'm going to add my sugars and beat on medium for about 3 or 4 minutes until they become fluffy. Halfway in between, I'm just going to scrape the sides and then continue. When the batter becomes fluffy, we're going to add our eggs and our vanilla. I'm going to add my eggs one at a time. Now I'm going to add my second egg, but before I do, I'm going to scrape down the sides. And the vanilla. And continue beating on low to medium for another 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to start adding my flour. Before I continue with the flour, I just want to mention something. I tend to be quite precise when I measure my ingredients, so I do recommend that you get like a set of measuring tools, like measuring cups and measuring spoons, because sometimes it actually can make a difference. So for example, if I say I want a cup of flour, I mean that I'm going to use a level cup of flour and not a heaping cup of flour. Same thing for the measuring spoon. When I say, for example, I'm gonna use half a teaspoon of salt, it's a level teaspoon of salt. These really don't cost a lot, but they can make a difference in your recipe. Start at low speed and then go up to medium. With each addition of flour, scrape down the sides. And you don't want to overmix your flour, you just want to mix it until it gets incorporated, until you can't see the flour anymore, but don't overmix it. I'm going to add the rest of my flour, and at this point you will notice that your dough is becoming harder. Okay, I've mixed my flour until it's just incorporated. I'm going to scrape the paddle. Okay, so now I have a little Zaki, I have a little visitor who came to the kitchen and he wants to help me add the chocolate chips. So we're going to add the chocolate chips, stir them into the dough with a wooden spoon. This should be the consistency of your dough. Okay, so now I'm going to place my cookie dough on the cookie sheets. I did place wax paper just because it makes it easier for the to clean the pan, but you don't have to. You can also use aluminum foil if you want. I'm going to use the ice cream scooper, which has a 2 tablespoon capacity. If you want larger cookies like Subway cookies or Starbucks cookies, then you can use the 1/4 cup capacity. But to me, they're too big. I like my cookies a little bit smaller. you don't have an ice cream scooper, no problem. Just use 2 spoons. I'll show you. So take a big scoop of cookie dough and using another spoon, drop it on the wax paper or on the baking tray. Can you see the edges of the cookies, how they are brown and crispy, and the inside is not completely set yet? This is what you want. Don't panic, it doesn't mean that your cookies are not completely baked, because they will harden as they cool. But if you continue baking your cookies until all the cookie becomes this color, golden and crispy, then your cookie will turn out way too hard when it cools down. When you take your cookies out of the oven, you have to let them cool completely before you eat them, and that should take about half an hour. So my cookies baked for about 14 minutes. They turned out perfect. Like I said, you only want to bake them until the edge is golden so as to ensure a chewy cookie. Oh, but just before we taste them, I want to tell you how to store the cookies. Remember back in the days when we used to have something called a cookie jar? Well, you don't want to put these in a cookie jar because if you do, if you like drop them in the cookie jar, because they are very soft and chewy, they most likely will break. So no cookie jar. What you want to do is you want to get a large flat container like this one. And you want to stack them, oops, like this, next to each other. And then you can directly put the other cookies on top, but I prefer to use wax paper between each layer of cookies. Again, just a reminder, you have to let the cookies cool completely before you eat them. So now I'm ready to eat them. So they are extremely chewy, like seriously. They're perfect. They are perfect. I'm not gonna add any more because you have to go try them out yourself. I mean, they're chocolate chip cookies. I don't know one single person who doesn't adore chocolate chip cookies. Okay guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I really hope you go make these cookies because, like I said, they're chocolate chip cookies. Everybody needs chocolate chip cookies. Until next time, bye!
I'm a cookie monster cookie.
You're a cookie monster?